If you live in Australia and you're looking for the best place to go to get hearing aids, then this video is for you. Hey guys, Dr. Cliff AUD here. Back in 2023, I had the pleasure of being invited to be the keynote speaker at the Audiology Australia National Conference. While I was there, I was able to learn a lot about the similarities and differences between hearing aid dispensing in the United States and hearing aid dispensing in Australia. On the surface, it appeared as though our countries couldn't be more different from each other when it came to providing hearing treatment. But after spending an entire week at the conference speaking to a ton of different Australian audiologists, I started to see a lot of striking similarities between how treatment is done in the United States and how treatment is done in Australia using hearing aids. Of course, some of the similarities were good and some of the similarities were not so good. The good news is Australians have access to the same great hearing aid technology that we have in the United States. And more importantly, you have access to a lot of excellent hearing care professionals that will dictate how much benefit you get from those hearing aids. At the same time, you have a lot of the same problems in Australia that we have in the United States when it comes to hearing aids. But fear not, because Australia is one of the best countries to live in when it comes to treating your hearing loss, as long as you know who to go to, and I'll explain why in this video. Now, just in case you are unaware of who I am and why you have some American trying to tell you about the Australian hearing aid market, I've been creating informational video content on my Dr. Cliff AUD YouTube channel since 2017, discussing everything from hearing loss, to hearing aids, to cochlear implants, to best practice audiologic care, and more. I did this because it was virtually impossible for someone with hearing loss to get unbiased, credible information online about hearing loss and hearing treatment. It was even more difficult for someone with hearing loss to identify a hearing care professional who is excellent at what they do so you can get the most out of those hearing aids. Now, with over 1,200 videos on my YouTube channel, people from around the world are using it as a resource to learn more about their hearing loss and their treatment options, including individuals who live in Australia. In fact, outside of the United States and Canada, Australia is one of the biggest viewers of the videos on my channel. That being said, if you want me to make more videos specifically for Australia, make sure that you hit that like button and go ahead and hit the subscribe button with notification bell so you get notified every single time I publish a new video. Okay, so let's take a few minutes to discuss the two major concerns that I have about the Australian hearing aid market. First is white labeling. White labeling is when a company will take a name brand hearing aid and rename it to something else so you don't know which hearing aid you're actually buying. Why is this a problem? Because you are unable to do the amount of research necessary to identify if those are the right hearing aids for you. Because essentially the company is trying to hide it from you. And you will likely run into issues trying to take those white labeled hearing aids into a different clinic to get them serviced or reprogrammed. I am a firm believer in transparency, which means that you should know exactly which hearing aids you are getting, what the make and model is of them, and what services come along with those hearing aids, especially if you are spending your hard-earned money to purchase them. The only reason for white labeling is for companies to limit transparency, which is bad for you as an individual with hearing loss. If the hearing aids being marketed and sold can only be found at that particular type of clinic, then the hearing aids that you're purchasing are likely white labeled, and you should proceed with extreme caution. The second concern that I have about the Australian hearing aid market is your access to high quality audiologic care. What do I mean about high quality audiologic care? Essentially, I'm talking about best practices when it comes to testing your hearing, selecting your hearing aids, fitting and programming your hearing aids, and providing you with high quality follow-up care. Australia does have their hearing services program, which provides subsidized hearing tests and hearing aids to pensioners and veterans. And it has specific minimum service requirements that providers have to meet. But if you do not qualify for the hearing services program, then your hearing care professional is not held to the same standard that is mandated by this program. And even if you do qualify, the quality of service that you receive can vary greatly between different providers. All of this has led to an increase of low-cost chain hearing aid clinics that are focused way more on hearing aid sales than they are quality of care. Just remember that when you're hearing all of these advertisements on the radio and TV about these super low-cost hearing aids. When it comes to your overall performance with hearing aids, low cost usually means low quality and poor performance. But you know what? We have the exact same problem in the United States, where low cost, low quality discount discount care has completely destroyed hearing aid performance for thousands of Americans. This is exactly why I started the HearingUp Provider Network, which is a network of hearing care professionals who've been vetted to provide comprehensive audiologic best practice care to ensure that their patients receive the maximum amount of benefit from their hearing aids. Since 2019, I have only partnered with hearing care professionals who are committed to providing high-quality hearing care so their patients can hear their absolute best. Now, I'm bringing the HearingUp Network to Australia by partnering with the Hearing Business Alliance, which is a collaborative organization of independent hearing care professionals who are also committed to this higher standard. Our partnership between HearingUp and the Hearing Business Alliance will ensure that all Australians with hearing loss have access to high-quality best practice audiologic care. This way you can be confident that when you treat your hearing loss with hearing aids that you will be able to hear your absolute best just like thousands of individuals across the United States and Canada already have. If you would like to find an Australian HearingUp provider, just go to hearingup.com and go to the Australian provider page. There you will be able to find an excellent HearingUp Network member in your area and be well on your way to hearing your absolute best with your hearing aids. So here's the deal. If getting your hearing aids for the lowest possible cost is your #1 goal, then don't worry because the Australian hearing aid market has already got you covered. But if you're looking for an excellent hearing care professional who is committed to finding you the best hearing aids and setting up those hearing aids the best way possible so you can hear your best, then you need to find a HearingUp Network member in your area.